Welcome to the Cast Off. This is the #1 recasting show on the internet where two contestants compete by recasting favorite actors in movies you love. I'm your host, Craig Price, and I feel the need to recast an 80s classic that they pretty much remade and then they called it a sequel. That's right. We're recasting Top Gun, the original, and joining me today from the new Age of Geek, yes, the new rebranded Stolen Droids, the Age of Geek is two of my favorite people and with some of the best podcasts on Age of Geek. From Movies That Make Us, it's Jake Dietz, and from Cupcakes and Cutscenes, Stephanie Lisman. How are you guys? You guys have been on both recently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm good, Craig.
Well, excited to be here.
Good. Well,
sure.
let's start with Jake. Your last time here, historic win. The only person to ever get two of Craig picks in one episode, and the only person to ever win by having a less number of picks. You've only got 3 correct, but because
I need to send Paul like a Christmas card.
Oh yeah, he was
some
devastated.
Kind of gift basket or something. I still feel bad. I mean, I don't. I followed. You
followed the rules. You did.
I won fair and square, but yeah. It was crazy. It was an interesting game for sure.
So Movies That Make Us getting ready for Fan X, I'm assuming the next 3 weeks. How's it been with Valerie all over the country?
We are adjusting. We love having all 3 of us on the show, and that means that we haven't been as consistent as far as releasing, but it's also been great to hear about Val's experiences and what she's been able to do. And so it's been a good experience all around. And so we're still in a period of adjustment, I guess, but it's good. It's all good.
Any plans for Fan X?
Yeah, we're going to have lots of stuff going on at Fan X, lots of panels between the 3 of us. And then I'm sure we'll try to meet up with some of our podcast buddies and try to do an episode. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see, Craig. That has not always worked out well for us in the past.
I don't know why. The last one was fantastic. You just didn't release it. And I only said the F word 4 times. You could have edited that with beeps. It wasn't that big a deal.
Yeah.
In fact, 3 of those were me just saying that I just said the F word. Why are you so upset?
I know. Part of it was I'm still missing half the audio from that
that's
one, and that's
right.
why that one hasn't been released.
That's right. I forgot. That wasn't my fault. That was
Nope.
we had 6 microphones on the table and 2 recorders.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, now we're going to get you one of those HN6s, the ones that have you can get like 8 people, or the one that looks like a spider.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, we'll get you one of those.
Something like that.
But let's move on to our other guest, who's also going to be at Fan X. I'm assuming, because she's a super nerd just like the rest of us. Stephanie Lisman, how are you?
I'm so good.
No.
I am excited to be here. Yeah, we should be busy for Fan X too. Excited to see what the schedule is going to bring us.
Yeah, haven't gotten our schedules yet, and that's going to be the key to the whole castle right there, because I haven't released anything as of recording because I don't know who's available because we don't know our schedules. But I'm sure you guys are going to be super busy. Now, this is a rematch. The last time you guys faced each other, you did this, I want to say a year or a year and a half ago?
Yeah, probably about a year ago.
Yeah, whenever Suicide Squad came out, because it was for the new Suicide Squad.
Might have been 2 years ago. Wow, that's how long this show's been going on. It's ever since COVID, and just like COVID, we're not going away. So, well, last time you guys met, you won. Is that something you're aiming for again?
Yes, I feel very confident.
Really, because I know Jake is a massive Top Gun fan, and so I mean we can see right here. Look, he's got his Top Dad shirt on. How can you go up against Top Dad?
It is intimidating, Jake.
Yeah, Jake's always intimidating. But we do have a game, and Jake is not the only one that's got things going on. We've got our own little cast-off logo that I slapped together today rather quickly just to show off. It's not going to make a T-shirt or anything, but it was a fun little thing. Maybe I'll get one for Maverick when we do that one someday, because that one has a lot more things available. But here are the rules, because we do have a game. What I am going to do is I am going to name a character, and you are going to give me an actor, and that actor can be anyone throughout all of space and time. Mostly time. I don't really know if you're going to go through space. Like, yes, Romulan from the Voltar 7 planet would be great. I don't know. He may or may not be. But you're going to give me an actor. The best choice gets 1 point, and that is decided by myself and 2 judges. But I am also playing along, so if you get my secret selection, as Jake is well acquainted with, you can possibly get 2 points, because let's be honest, my picks are usually the best choices. So if you feel like you are falling behind, know that you can, and it has happened before, you can bounce back, even at a massive, I think it was 4-1 deficit or something like that, 3-1 deficit. It's still possible. Person with the most points wins, and if there is a tie, we will do a double feature to win. When and if that is necessary, we'll talk about that at that time. But as always, the show is brought to you by Matinee Heroes, and September is our traditional Patreon membership drive, and it's been so successful in the past that we quit doing it because Patreon was just not getting enough people. So what we're doing is we're re-releasing. We have 60-plus Patreon episodes that we are going to sprinkle throughout our timeline and our feed whenever Alan and I can't make it. But since September is a massive film festival / Comic-Con month for both of us, we're out of town. So we are doing the great Mads Mikkelsen's film, Riders of Justice. And if you have not seen this movie, you've got to go see it. Yes, it is in subtitles because it's Danish, I believe. But if any movie is ever cried out for an American remake, and you could hire Mads Mikkelsen to be himself, this is the one. It's got a lot of great themes. So head over to matineeheroes.com/subscribe. While you're there, if you do like the cast-off, you can subscribe to matineeheroes.com/cast-off and join the video feed. Also, a quick reminder that if you listen to the audio feed, you can listen to the post-game show every Thursday in the Matinee Hero audio feed. So double reasons to not only sign up at Cast-Off, but also to sign up for the main podcast. Well, are you guys ready to buzz the tower, do inversions, and just act like crazy people who have no respect for anything? Maybe even oil up and play some volleyball.
So it's about to go down in Fighter Town.
That's right.
Steph.
I knew Jake was ready to oil up. So let's get going to one of the biggest movies.
I always say that
80s.
about Jake.
Yeah.
Always ready to oil up.
I believe that's on his tombstone. It's going to be, "Here lies Jake, oiled and ready to go." So we are going to start off, and Jake, you did win. So you were going to start off with the great, look at this, little baby Tommy Cruise, little baby face Tommy Cruise as Maverick. So who are you going to replace Tom Cruise with, the iconic Tom Cruise that pretty much moved him from good actor to action star?
Yeah. Let's be honest. This movie is all about Tom Cruise and the Maverick character, right? I mean, he carries the movie. He's got the charisma. I needed an actor who could do the same and be the focal point of the whole story and the movie and everything and be a big draw. I went with Michael B. Jordan as Maverick.
Oh, yes, he is a big draw. He's the real deal leading man, as we've seen him in Creed, Black Panther, Fruitvale Station. He's very good in that, and Just Mercy. And he was in Fantastic Four. I believe he was Johnny Storm.
He was. We don't talk about that Fantastic Four, but he was in it.
Yes. And I believe, and it's only rumor, I have not seen, but I believe he's going to be in Wakanda Forever. Either in a dream sequence or in the, I guess if he's dead, he could be in the death world that they have, the dimension they go to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. So, Stephanie, Michael B. Jordan is a really good pick. So who do you have to counteract that?
I was kind of thinking along the same lines, some action star, someone that is like pretty to look at as well. So I went with John David Washington.
Oh, let's get this beefy piece of meat. John David Washington carrying on the family business. What do you like about John David Washington besides the fact that he looks good in blue here?
He was fantastic in Black Klansman. I really liked both him. I mean, both him and Adam Driver are so good. But Tenet was like the breakout movie of COVID. I feel like that was the movie everyone left their house to go see and was pleasantly surprised in it. So I feel like he could carry this role well.
Oh, two really good picks right out the bat. We've got Michael B. Jordan, John D. Washington. The judges conferred and going with John D. Washington. So Stephanie takes the first point. We had a theme going, and that was I watched Top Gun. I rewatched it again. Way too many white people. Way too many. And so I wanted to, let's give John Boyega a shot at it, too. I think we wanted to represent. And so John Boyega, I think, can do it as well. He's one of our favorite pilots and stormtroopers. Next, we get sexy pilot trainer Charlie Blackwood, played by Kelly McGinnis. And Stephanie, who do you have to possibly replace the great Kelly McGinnis?
I went a little conservative with this pick. Blonde, bombshell, classic. I feel like every dude loves this woman, and a lot of women. Charlize Theron.
Oh, yes. She is known for being perfect, as we saw her in Mad Max Fury Road, Atomic Blonde, Monster, Bombshell, The Devil's Advocate. We all know, and it's well established, my love for Charlize Theron. A very good pick. I can't possibly imagine Jake even picking someone who could possibly beat Charlize Theron. So what do you got, Jake?
Well, I didn't go with a pick just to kiss up to Craig. I mean, obviously, that's what Steph was going for. Knowing that there were other judges involved, I picked someone that I thought would pair well with my Maverick, and who has paired well with him in the past. I went with Tessa Thompson.
Oh, yes. And I have this in the most respectful way, but she is a bad mamma jamma. She is awesome, as we see constantly as Valkyrie in the Thor movies, in the Creed movies, in Selma, Annihilation, and the ill-conceived Men in Black International, where she and her Thor co-star Chris Hemsworth. I don't know. I didn't see the movie. Not a lot of people did. So I get just... Yeah, I'm just imagining she was really good. So we have the goddess herself, Charlize Theron. The Valkyrie herself, Tessa Thompson. But let's just get right to it. It's Charlize Theron. No doubt about that. 2 points for Stephanie. It was unanimous from the judges because it's Charlize Theron. We all love and respect her. I went with Brie Larson. Because I try not to recast Charlize Theron because everyone thinks I do, which is not true. I just mention her when other people mention her. But Brie Larson, she's got the picture. I liked her as Captain Marvel. I know a lot of internet troll boys who really, they're just upset they'll never get a chance to date her, are upset she's in it. But I think she was fabulous. Next we get the by-the-book ace pilot Iceman, played by Val Kilmer. Look at this guy. He looks like a knife in this. Look how sharp his cheekbones are. You could cut glass with that thing. Look at that. Wow. So, Jake, I know you don't get many man crushes, but how can you not? Well, look at this guy. So
no, he's good. He's a nice-looking guy, for sure.
Oh, yeah. So, Jake, who do you have to play Iceman?
Yeah, so I wanted someone who also kind of has that classic chiseled look, someone who can play somebody who plays by the book. And as you've established on your show, Craig, Captain Kirk is obviously someone who plays by the book.
Yes.
So I went with Chris Pine.
Oh, yes, Chris Pine with his piercing blue eyes. He's sexy, too. We saw in the Star Trek reboot. He's fantastic in the Wonder Woman movies. He was a good dad in Wrinkle in Time. I guess he's the original Spider-Man in Into the Spider-Verse. Mm-hmm. And the latest thing you can see him in is on Amazon Prime with him in someone else I truly admire, Thandie Newton, All the Old Knives, where he plays kind of not a good spy guy. He's not really a nice guy in that movie. So, Stephanie, who do you have to go against the blue-eyed sex man, Chris Pine?
I went with someone maybe a little risky, but I feel good about it. I feel like he'd be fantastic, and I feel like he should be in more things, and I'm excited to see what he'll do. A little bit of a spoiler in the new Marvel
I spoil it, don't
series. Worry. Yeah. I picked Brett Goldstein.
Oh, yes. He's here. He's there. He's every beep and where. He's
exactly
Roy Kent. Yes. Very talented guy. Does stand up. He writes for Ted Lasso before he actually was cast as Roy Kent. He's in the Thor Love and Thunder, and spoiler alert, he will be the new Hercules, which, I didn't really see it until I saw him in the costume, because I don't see it here, but once you see him in his bulging pectorals and everything. Now here's a bunch of things that you may not have seen him in, but he's been very good, and he was in the Ricky Gervais show Derek. He won a BAFTA, which is the English Oscars for Best Supporting Actor in Adult Life Skills. And a movie I never heard of, but I'm definitely going to take a look at because it's got Catherine Tate in it. He's a mailman struck by an asteroid who becomes a superhero, and he is Super Bob. Because I don't think people really know that Brett Goldstein is nothing like Roy Kent. He's quite a nerdy goober like the rest of us, which kind of irritates us because look how handsome he is. So we've got Chris Pine, Brett Goldstein. The judges hashed it out, and in a surprise pick to me, Brett Goldstein gets it, and
Yes.
Stephanie Lisman takes a 3-point lead. But this is nothing for Jake Dietz, so he's not intimidated at all yet. I went with Taron Egerton. I figured he's a good-looking guy who's straight-laced. Probably could do it. Comes off sometimes as a D-bag. Now, can we have a moment of silence, not only for Anthony Edwards Goose, but for the porn stash? Rest in peace, Lip Caterpillar. We miss you. So, Stephanie, who do you have that's going to have a porn stash just like Miles Teller did in the new Top Gun Maverick? And everyone knows how much I can't stand Miles Teller. Throw on a porn stash, I really hate him. Who do you have being the co-pilot?
I went with someone kind of lovable, but you could totally see as like an Air Force dude. I went with Tom Hardy.
I went and found a young picture of him where he does look like Anthony Edwards, which I don't think you meant. I think he's on his own. He's known for covering his face like he does in the Dark Knight Rises, Dunkirk, Venom. He mumbles a lot, but a very talented actor, as we saw in Inception and in Mad Max Fury Road. Jake, what you got, buddy? Jake?
You cannot hear you.
So hopefully something good. The judges haven't felt my pick so far, so we'll see where it goes with this one. For Goose, I wanted someone who would be a great sidekick, who would be funny, lovable, but not necessarily steal the spotlight from our main star. I went with Zachary Levi.
Oh, Zachary Levi, yes. A Fan X favorite. I know everybody clamors for him to show up. He's such a nice guy. I've met him a couple times. Very nice guy. From the Shazam movies, Chuck. He's very talented. He can sing. He's Entangled. He played Kurt Warner in American Underdog. And everybody's got to start somewhere. One of his first movies, Big Mama's House 2. Well, we've got Tom Hardy, Zachary Levi, and of course, Zachary Levi as Jake starts the comeback 1-3. I went with Ezra Miller because if there's one person I'd love to see smash into a cockpit window, it's Ezra Miller. I don't know what he's doing now, but he's in Vermont with running a cult, I think. Well, next we get fellow porn stash wearer, but his has not been retired. He has had his porn stash on from the 70s and is still wearing it. That is leader of the group, Viper, played by the great Tom Skerritt. So, Jake, Tom Skerritt, porn stash, who you got for this?
Tom Skerritt's so iconic in this movie, and his mustache is amazing. But I went with somebody who today I think could play that same role and do it very well as kind of the mentor. I went with Tom Cruise.
Oh, yes, always good to bring.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. We said anybody from time and space, and we have taken present day and we have sent them back to the future, to the past. He's the last movie star. I don't think there's any movie stars anymore. No. It's all IP. So he's known for this movie, The Outsiders, The Color of Money, Days of Thunder, Vanilla Sky, and Jake, as always, I appreciate you. All 5 of these movies we have done here at Matinee Heroes. So go to matineeheroes.com actually, just go to matineeheroes.com and do a Google search and find all of these movies. So I would give you extra points if I could, but we can't, so we won't.
I understand.
But thank you for making sure we can promote the show even more. Stephanie, not sure you knew you could do that.
But I still like my pick more.
Yeah, but it's absolutely within the rules. So, again, nothing underhanded done by Jake, though you seemed a little shocked when it came on. So who do you have playing, who do you have that could take over Tom Cruise?
This person, I feel like, makes everything they're in better. I would love to see them in more things. If you want to put a porn stash on them, that would be quite a liberty, but whatever, I don't know. I like that. It could be a decision that could be made. I went with Tessa Thompson.
Yes, there we go. The bad mamma jamma from Jake's pick earlier. That's right. She was in Sorry to Bother You, which is a very bizarre movie and not for children. In the great movie Passing. Then we started to go into her TV. She was on Veronica Mars, and she's great on the current Westworld. And was in a Netflix movie, I think, called Dear White People. So Tessa Thompson is a bad mamma jamma, just like Tom Cruise. But we've got Tom Cruise, Tessa Thompson. Got to go with old school. That's what these movies do. You got to bring in somebody from the other one, except we're doing it in reverse. And Jake is slowly crawling back. It's 2-3. I went with Jason Isaacs. I think he's got that gravitas. He can be mad. He can be angry, almost like John Hamm was in the current Maverick movie. I could have gone with John Hamm as well. Well, now we get to the perennial military all-star that is Michael Ironside, playing the ironically humorless Jester. Stephanie, who do you have to replace beloved actor Michael Ironside?
I'm rethinking my pick. I will say it's been a hot minute since I've watched Top Gun. But I went with Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah, that's a little bit. Someone's been watching a lot of Ted Lasso.
Correct.
Which is fine. My wife just watched it all last week. So, Midwest folk hero Jason did. I guess he's come from Kansas City. Plays the great Ted Lasso. Was in Horrible Bosses. We're the Millers. Played a kind of a bad guy in Colossal. And was a staple on Saturday Night Live. Interesting pick. But I think he could do it. I think he's got enough acting. I think you just have to change the character just a tad.
Yeah.
Just a tad. So that leaves Jake. Jake, who do you have to play the guy who's really doing all the work for Viper?
Yeah, so I went with someone who's familiar to that role, doing all the work for another individual like Tony Stark, for example, who looks good in a military uniform. I went with Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
The original Iron Man.
That's right, the first Jim Rhodes. Iron Man came out, and Terrence Howard mistakenly thought he was the reason why. Asked for more money. Enter John Cheadle. He was in the Oscar-winning Crash, Ray, Hustle and Flow, and most recently, he was on Empire. But actually, more recently, he claims he has found a new hydrogen and has become and is going to sell some new technology to Uganda. It's like he's become the Tony Stark. It's really bizarre what's happened to Terrence Howard. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's weird. So we have Jason Sudeikis, Terrence Howard. The judges shook their head and said, Jason Sudeikis? No, Terrence Howard. And it is all tied up. The comeback kid, Jake Dietz. Is it going to be another one? This is right down to the wire. Jake, if anything, you are always interesting. I went with Jim Caviezel because I think Jim Caviezel could also play that guy who would be working with Jason Isaac, but under lower command. All right. Now, finally, we have her here just because she's adorable in this movie. Oh, I love 80s Meg Ryan. She's so cute and sweet and funny, and she knows that Goose and Maverick are in love, and she doesn't care because it's a platonic kind of love, and it doesn't as long as he lands his plane on her aircraft carrier, she doesn't care where he flies. And that is Carol is Goose's wife and future widow. So Jake, finally you're in control once again, in control of your own destiny. Are we going to see Kurt Russell's name pop up and save you?
No, not Kurt Russell. I did not pick Kurt Russell for this. I also feel like, this needed to be someone who could have that cute personality that she has and could be lovable like she is. And I feel like that would be today, for me, Jennifer Lawrence.
All right, Jennifer Lawrence, who, for me, she's always a grumpy survivalist like she is in the Hunger Games. Even her Mystique is kind of grumpy in the X-Men movies. She was a poor Appalachian girl who was surviving the West Virginia coal mines in Winter's Bone. She was surviving Bradley Cooper in Silver Linings Playbook, and she somehow survived that horrible movie called Don't Look Up that was on Netflix that people seem to really like, but I don't understand why. So, Stephanie, who do you have that can outdo Jennifer Lawrence?
I chose one of my all-time favorite actresses. She's cute, she's fun. I went with Gabrielle Union.
Gabrielle Union, absolutely. Known as a sassy black friend. That is her saying that, not me. She was quoted as saying when she first started out, she was the asexual sassy black friend in way too many movies. And that is why she went and got all kinds of hotness, starting in Bad Boys 2, something about a cradle. I can't remember that one. She was like doing a striptease in that. But then she settled into just being a classic lady, Think Like a Man, and The Honeymooners. So we have Jennifer Lawrence, Gabrielle Union. If Jake gets this, it'll be the second big comeback in a row. If Stephanie gets this, she will have secured her dominance over Jake Dietz. So is it going to be Jennifer Lawrence? Is it going to be Gabrielle Union? I went with Florence Pugh. So no one's going to blow anybody out. This is going to be over tonight. But before we find out the winner, once again, please, blokes, I'm telling you, we need subscribers. I keep saying this, and you guys keep saying, oh, here comes Craig. He's going to keep asking us for subscribers. And I wouldn't if 20 of you would just fake it. Get your Russian friends to sign up and fake accounts. I don't care. We just need the custom URL. But more importantly, head over to matineeheroes.com/store. We've got cast-off shirts. We've got 4. Not only do we have the Sonic the Hedgehog, which is really cool looking, not only do we have the No Way Home recreation of cast-off, but even now, because of the Fan X that's happening in 2 weeks, I have in my grubby little paws Cast-Off Clerks Edition. We're doing Clerks on the Cast-Off live in front of an audience, which is going to be exciting. So I want you to go buy those so the audience is full. Not a fan of comedies? Well, there's another big reunion happening, and that is going to be the Scream reunion. So we have the Scream Cast-Off. I think I'm showing it. And please, go to the show. Pick those up. I would love to have an audience full of Cast-Off shirts. That would be awesome. Even if it's just the 7 of us like last time. 7 shirts. That's really cool. So, once again, please, 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 I'm begging you. I don't know how to do this anymore. Just go to YouTube, buy some shirts. Thankfully, we don't need the Patreon since I have a job. All right. So once again, matineeheroes.com/store. So let's get back to the exciting conclusion of Carol Bradshaw's fate. Is she going to be Jennifer Lawrence? Is she going to be Gabrielle Union? Could it be Top Dad Jake versus the Ice Queen? No, she's very sweet. Stephanie. The judges hemmed, hawed, and there was no unanimous decision, but it was Gabrielle Union, and Stephanie Lisman is tonight's winner. Congratulations, Stephanie. You have today's final thought.
Well, first of all, I'm grateful that Jake knows his place now. And second of all, I just needed to shout out our newly renamed podcast network, Age of Geek. We're so excited. Tagline, every geek welcome, because we want to make sure everyone has a place where we can talk fandoms, tabletops, podcasts, movies, whatever it might be, a place where we can talk about it on podcasts, talk about it on streaming, talk about it YouTube videos. So we're excited to see where this goes, all of the people that we can bring in with us, and it's going to be a good time. We're going to be around FanX, so if you're in Utah, Salt Lake area, come find us. We'll give you a sticker. So excited for it all.
I'm excited for a sticker. But
yeah,
we still have more to go. There's more shows coming up, and next week, some more of the Age of Geek cast members as, well, filmmaker and now playwright Tammy Anderson, who was just at Utah Fringe Festival, and Jake's co-host Tracy Magnum of Movies That Make Us on the Age of Geek podcast network do The Silence of the Lambs. Hello, Clarice. It's going to be fun. I'm going to see Tracy how he does it. But if you want to be on the show, it's so easy. Just head over to matineeheroes.com/castoff/application and fill out the application, and you too could be on the show. We've had past winners like Sam Levitt and others who have gone on the show through the application. It's quite easy. We don't have a very high bar. Next, you can go to mhcastoff@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at The Castoff Show. We have a Facebook group, as well as matineeheroes.com/castoff, which will give you links to all our video streams, including twitch.tv/matineeheroes. Special thanks to additional judges Brendan Agnew and Elizabeth Rapp for helping me out. So if you don't like what happened today, Jake, go yell at those two. Don't yell at me. I saved your butt last time. Anyways, well, on behalf of today's winner, Stephanie Lisman, and of course, our good buddy, Jake Dietz, my name is Craig Price. You are watching The Castoff. We will see you next week.